My
Okay,
face
we
in
can
it.
officially start this RWBY. Would it be called a RWBY podcast? or
Recording? Chat? Discussion?
recording chat?
Recording chat, I like that.
Recording
Yeah.
chat.
Uh,
Sounds good.
all right. Welcome everyone to this recording chat of RWBY Volume 3. Yes, I got it right. I am your host, Aeon3Veil4 on YouTube, and I am with my good friend, Twitch the Mad Gamer on YouTube, and SwarleyU, who does a lot of RWBY-related videos and or expanding into other anime shows, including reviews and whatnot.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so now what?
Okay, so I want to get this started off with sorry Twitch that we're gonna spoil you on RWBY because I kept telling you need to watch the other episodes, but yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. My decision was divided between work and Batman. I'm sorry.
Stupid life keep getting in the way.
But oh boy, pretty much what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pretty much discussing the episodes, probably our favorites, and most likely some theories that we've come up with throughout the series. Because me and Swarley and sometimes Twitch have done that before, so
I feel insulted.
well, sorry. I suppose where we should start is probably how guess how this volume has ended and what it can kind of like lead towards to like other things that build up upon them, I suppose. Do you guys have any thoughts?
Well, Twitch hasn't actually seen it, so we should probably describe to him what happened first.
Oh yeah.
Basically,
He's seen up to when Penny got killed.
okay, well, shit just kept on going downhill from there. Let's just say.
Boy.
Here we are. We're about to do a RWBY chat recording with a reaction to the horrible news at the end. Ready for major spoilers.
I'm going to increase Twitch's camera screen so I can see all the details of his reaction.
If we go frame by frame, we'll be able to tell when his heart breaks.
I read RWBY Quest, okay? When Nora died, I read RWBY Quest. That can't happen again.
I meant to tell Swarley about that, but that's for a later topic.
Okay.
But yeah, let's fill him in on what happened in RWBY.
Shall you or shall I?
Okay.
We can just take turns one episode at a time. I suppose what happened right after Penny got torn up is that everything started to go pretty much hell came loose because all to the negativity that happened due to Kira accidentally tearing up Penny attracted pretty much all hordes of Grimm, including those giant elephants in Volume 2, and even like the defenses of the town were busted down, and even a giant Nevermore was at the stadium trying to break down the barrier. So yeah, everything kinda went south. Shit hasn't hit the fan yet. We will get to that.
Why have the feeling I'm gonna just drop dead?
A lot of people did. A lot of people did.
Lavender Town style.
Including us.
From there, we can say they had an epic fight between Roman, Neo, and Torchwick. Torchwick unceremoniously got eaten by a Grimm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at his eyes go wide on that one. During
Birdshaw.
all that, Ironwood became the most like badass like teacher out there. What was it?
Became a Terminator.
Yeah, he literally became a Terminator. You find out like half his body is robot.
Dude.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Like there was lots of cool fights. Like RWBY used one of the lockers that can like shoot up into the air to get to Roman and Neo that were like taking one of the ships. That was really cool. Blake and Weiss were fighting at the Beacon Academy trying to defend it.
Oh yeah, all of this time the White Fang are invading at the same time.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everything's happening like kind of at once. Like they did really good transitions between scenes, so that was really good.
All right.
Let's see.
Adam shows up.
Oh yeah, Adam. We'll get to Adam like real soon. I'm just trying to make sure we have this. Well, yeah, we got to see Crow use his scythe.
Mm-hmm. Which was, it was okay.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that's his weapon?
It's a sword and a scythe.
Oh,
and
like Crow. Duh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
correct.
his regular weapon, but it's the final like transformation of it.
I'm just trying to make sure. Okay, and then it wasn't.
This is a lot more hardcore than Crescent Roses.
It wasn't. No, it's really cool, but it's just like after the big reveal of Velvet's weapon.
Yeah, she kind of overshadowed him, I have to say.
Like they had the music that's called I May Fall.
Yeah, that's the song.
Yeah, they had that song playing in the background. Apparently, Velvet's camera, which was very close to what you were thinking, Charlie, in one Rambling Rack review, was that Velvet can take pictures of other people's weapons and projects a hologram projectile of a hologram of the weapon, and she uses it. So she can like use a copy of Ruby's scythe, Yang's gauntlets, everyone.
Yeah. I originally thought it was going to be some sort of, what do you call it, like 3D printer, but it ended up being like a hard light projector, which is pretty close, but kind of like, if any of you know Green Lantern or that,
Yeah.
it's just, what is it, kind of like wireframe light projections, which, I don't know, of that episode, that was what, the second last episode? That had to be my favorite fight for that episode.
That's pretty cool.
I was thinking that like the camera would change into the weapons, like kind of like a kind of replica of their weapons, but like in the color palette of Velvet.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool to see like a reload sort of function. Like every time she switches weapons, she has to like take out maybe like a, you know how some of those old school cameras had like the slide that had to go in and out of the camera. I would have loved to have seen like her have to pull the slide out of the camera, jam it into the box, and almost like click it in like a shotgun shell, or how the Ghostbusters would put the ghost traps into the giant holding cell, how there's like quarter turn left and then the weapon pop out. But it kind of breaks up the fight fluidity if they did that.
Yeah. Then again, she's kind of OP in that sense.
Well,
she's so OP.
I think like the what reason why she hasn't using it so soon, other than Coco telling her not to, was because that it probably is like gone after she uses it, because like what if she has to like retake a photo of that picture or whatever weapon she used? I mean, it seems like you're done using it up, then you're gonna have to run out of ammunition, I suppose.
I think you're right on that, because right after the fight was done, and right after the fight, Weiss steps in and does a like half summon, so she summons half of the armor from her white trailer.
Oh,
just this giant arm out of nowhere slashes an Atlesian knight in half, the giant like AT-AT robot. But then immediately Velvet takes a picture of that right after, so it kind of makes me think like, all right, she's making that catalog again. She's making that weapon catalog all over again.
She's like,
Yeah.
I want that. I want 10.
Yeah, I want that thing.
It's like if Ruby was just going through a weaponized store, she sees a giant like nuclear weapon. It's like, I want that.
Yeah. It just reminds me of like Volume 2 when like Oobleck is showing her the Goliaths, the giant elephants, and she's just there with the gun like, let's kill it. She's so like innocent but simplistic at the same time when it comes to just murdering things.
Yeah, it's really.
Why?
Really,
It's fun.
yeah, it's all this hype, all of this goes down. Let's get this out of the way that Ozpin takes Pyrrha to that machine, pretty much to do the soul transfer that they talked about. Do you recall this, Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yes.
everything seemed to be going well. They started that up, and well, in the end, Cinder kills the maiden Amber. So this transfer of auras doesn't go, and the remaining portion of the aura goes to Cinder. John, you had one job.
Shit.
You had one job, John. Like, I know you were concerned for your waifu, but still.
He would have gotten owned either way, even if she didn't have the power up.
True.
Who, by Cinder? Oh, yeah, he would have
Oh,
gone
yeah.
up.
Go down.
But while all this is going on, they're cutting back and forth between a fight with Blake and Adam.
Mhm.
Oh, no.
And then...
Not much of a. It's
No.
one-sided.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's more like domestic abuse. Like, he
Mhm.
is just the backhands and the negativity and the verbal abuse coming from him. Oh, my God. And the very first intro of him, it's like, hello, darling. Oh, God.
God.
Adam just went so high up on the creep factor there.
It's just like when we first thought he was like a revolutionary and all that, but now it's just like this is messed up.
Yeah,
Like he is.
Now he's just like,
Yes, you know, like how people can probably go back after some therapy and whatnot. He has gone back to Mars that he cannot recover.
oh, great.
And so it go right when Amber would get killed, we get to see that Yang's looking for Blake, and Adam was just like, I will like destroy everything that you hold dear, starting with her. And so he stabs Blake, not just giving like a grave wound, but not killing her.
Mhm.
And her yell screaming attracts Yang. Yang gets angry and charges at Adam. And so he does this, I guess it's a resemblance. I'm not entirely sure when he like absorbs an attack and just does a whole like
During the little fight that Blake and Adam had, his sword absorbed like the shots from her gun, and he used that on Yang. But it's a type of like legit samurai attack where you go from a sheathed stance right to a quick strike.
Yeah, a Zentai Suken, if you would like to call that.
Yeah.
So he pretty much does that, and he cuts off Yang's arm. It does that really insane, like, artistic particle effect, where, like, Yang's like still golden, Adam's red and black, and everything else is red, and you just see her arm just, like, sliding off as she falls.
But instead of, like, blood coming out, it's like fire particles, like her aura is leaking out of her or something. It's really well done, very like artistic, like the Black trailer when he sliced through that giant robot. Like it was beautiful, horrifying, but beautiful.
I know.
They probably don't want to. Yeah, they probably don't want to show the blood straight out because that would just, impact her right there.
Yeah.
They still have children watching the show, so I mean,
yeah.
Though my cousin and little sister kind of teared up at these. It's making them cry.
Well, I mean, after Pyrrha went Mortal Kombat on Penny, things kind of going downhill, huh?
Oh, it goes further. So at the end of that episode,
So, like, what scared me at that point, it was that
Well,
Blake tried to protect Yang, who was already pretty much unconscious. And so Adams is like, why must you continue to hurt me? And for a second, he swings his sword, and you see, like, Blake's head coming off, but then it's just an illusion. My heart stopped for a second there, because it was like, you did not just kill Blake.
Yeah.
But no, it was just an illusion, and she ran off with Yang. That's scary. And so, cutting back to Ozpin and everyone, pretty much Cinder is Magneto now. She like floating like him and whatnot. And so Ozpin tells Pyrrha and John to get out of there, that they were just getting in the way. And so they leave. And then that episode cuts to black to tease us that the next final episode is going to be those two fighting.
No.
I think we skipped something. We skipped the mountain.
Oh yeah! Oh, I forgot about that. Out of all of this, the most insane thing happens that out at the mountain, a giant dragon grim pops out, and it's like the dragon, the Hobbit.
Just Sauron,
He's
like literally flying down, like I am death. He's not talking,
Sauron?
but Sauron, no, not
Smog.
Sauron. Smog.
Smog.
There we go.
Well,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, I can just imagine that right now. The most terrifying grim ever.
oh Jesus!
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, that
So-
thing's flying around, and it's literally pooping out other Grim
Oh,
on top
boy.
of the city.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, how can, like, how can things get any worse? It does. And so, and then, like,
Oh, no.
after that episode, shush you. That bird is not shy. Anyway, after that episode, it goes into a scene where it actually starts off Cinder and Ozpin fighting. It's just amazing. Like, you hear an orchestra in the background and a choir, and their attacks are going along with the rhythm of the music. That it's just so well done.
Perfectly timed, and it's such an epic fight too.
Yeah, Ozpin's semblance is time dilation, which Swarley, if you look up in one of his videos, he goes through a detailed description about it. But basically, Ozpin is using like gravity in a sense to either he seems to be moving faster than everyone in their eyes, but he's moving at like pretty much a different timeline, kind of like
he can pull himself out of our state of time. Gravity is one way of doing it, but there's other ways of doing it. There's a Flash villain that does it a similar way, but to us it looks like he's a speedster. But to him, he's actually running just normal pace, but kind of pulled out of our time frame.
Yeah, they kind of also did that in like one Rooster Teeth episode. I think it was like season 6, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's pretty much where the meta is moving slow to like everyone else, and just Doc's just standing there. But when it touches him, it still uses the same force, so he goes flying. So yeah, it's just like he's just going at a different speed of like time than to where we are, so he can move between time speeds. So it's really cool.
I mean, I was like, it was kind of obvious that semblance was time. All the clock things everywhere.
Yeah,
Was obvious.
Yeah, but it kind of like more than just like speeding up or slowing down in a sense. And Cinder is pretty much pulling out every single thing. She's using ice, which I did love how Starlight described it in like doing it like in a JoJo-esque pose.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that think that's crystals now too, because in the portion right before, she tore up the ground right below her, and you saw that like lava.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that sort of epic when somebody gets pushed away and they like grab onto the ground and like rip up the floor as they go. When she rips up the floor, it turns into lava. And some people are thinking that might be like crystals that she pulled out of the ground, like in the very first fight against RWBY. So could be ice, could be crystals. We're still not sure on that.
Yeah. And so it goes, and Osmond seems to be holding himself against Cinder really well compared to most others. And then it goes to the point where Cinder pretty much forms charges up a Kamehameha with like fire and all that and shoots it at Osmond. Like it's a giant flare of flame, and Osmond forms like a barrier around himself and then charges towards the flame. They're like colliding against one another. And then it's just a flash, and we cut to everyone evacuating, led by Oblek and Port. Then we go, and then RWBY finally catches up to everyone, and then sees that both the damage Blake and Yang have suffered, which is pretty heart-wrenching. That like Blake is crying and saying sorry to an unconscious Yang, feeling that it's her fault, which is great voice acting for everyone there. Like that's like pretty much at the top of their game. Maybe.
She just sounded so sad, really. Like, it was... For Blake, who's usually, like, non-emotional, it really sounds heartfelt. And something else about that scene, if you look closely, that's actually... their bandages are bloodied now. Like, you don't... it's not just white bandages. There are little splotches of red on there.
Yeah, it makes sense. And so... and pretty much everyone else is still, like, pretty banged up from the fights, like Juniper. But John and Pierre are missing because they're still at the beacon. So RWBY and Weiss go out to try to find them. While Sun's, like, strangely trying to be the voice of reason here. Where, like, the Grimm are pretty much spreading everywhere, and even the White Fang are pulling out. It kind of does show how he's also kind of why he's the leader of his team. That even though he's like outgoing and all that, that he pretty much understands the situation and all. And I guess he's like the kind of guy that's like willing to do whatever it is to kind of get the job done or protect his friends.
Yeah. Aiden, please take that bird microwave. Keep on turning it.
She's quieting down now, okay? She's not squawking.
It's fine. We don't hear it that much.
Yeah.
But the bird hates me. Whenever I came over there, that bird just hated the crap out of me.
Killer birds. Maybe it's secretly a Grimm. It's a Nevermore. You just don't know.
That would make my sister Cinder.
Aiden, you do have the Master Sword right there, you know? You could use it. Use it.
I have like a real sword of the Master Sword that's a replica of it, so it's
nice.
Neat.
I actually have, while we're comparing weapons, come here, you. This is my gunblade.
You got Squall.
So
that's
if
awesome.
If RWBY ever becomes real, I'm prepared.
Oh, I might as well show mine off.
Oh, right.
Yes, my awesome one. Yay.
Keyblade, nice.
Yeah. It's big and heavy. It's not like metal or anything, but I swear, if you take a swing at someone with this, they're gonna go to bed.
So, where were we? RWBY and Weiss, we're gonna go look for Pyrrha and John.
We go to Pyrrha and John. So...
Oh, no.
Okay. Who should say it?
Oh, okay.
Don't.
So, Arcos finally gets 100% confirmed. They race out. They race out of the building. And Pyrrha grabs Jean, gives him a kiss, jams him, into one of the lockers that's around, the rocket lockers, just like Carden did back in Volume 1, and sends him flying out of the way, and then runs back into the building after Cinder, who has just flown up to the roof, and we don't know how the fight with Ozpin ended. We don't know if he ran away, we don't know if he's dead, we don't know nothing. And so...
It fails for like a few seconds.
Yeah. So, Pyrrha uses her magnetism semblance to shoot herself up the elevator shaft inside a broken elevator, which Cinder just broke, and then fights Cinder.
Oh no.
At the same time, the giant-ass dragon shows up during the fight. Pyrrha's actually holding her own for a bit. The dragon wipes out the beacon tower, and eventually, Pyrrha starts getting worn down from the fight. Gets shot in her Achilles heel, much like Achilles. And then...
Wait. We skipped some moments there.
Oh, come on!
First, I wanted to point out that Cinder talks to that dragon like a mother to it, which is really weird, but wow. And John is like calling to Weiss and RWBY, trying to he's begging them to save Pyrrha, and props to Miles for that great voice work for that part. And so, as the fight between Pyrrha and Cinder is kind of getting to a close, Weiss uses her glyphs to send RWBY up running towards the tower. So, and then I hated one part right when Cinder tells to Pyrrha that she was promised a power that was never meant to be hers. Look who's talking, Cinder. Look who's talking.
Well, we find out why she says that later, but let's just get right to it.
Yeah. Right when RWBY shows up, and you feel like she's going to probably help Pyrrha, but right then, Pyrrha gets shot in the chest with an arrow by Cinder.
Oh, not just that.
Not only that, while she's pretty much her aura is seeping out of her chest and all that, Pyrrha holds her head, and pretty much Pyrrha disintegrates. She is cremated.
Yeah, Cinder cremates her. She grabs her head and just whoosh, and then just ashes. Cinders float away. There is nothing left of Pyrrha except for her tiara, crown, whatever. And then, from seeing this, RWBY screams, and all of a sudden, giant white lights come from her eyes like angel wings, and she freezes, takes out, eliminates the giant dragon and Cinder, and then it just all goes to white.
We hear voices from...
She killed Cinder?
We don't know.
We don't know. There's a bunch of theories going around, but so far we hear voices from Crow, learning Crow pretty much found her unconscious, saved her, but we heard that all communications between all the kingdoms are gone due to the beacon tower being destroyed, and so RWBY wakes up at her old home, and we finally get to see an animated Tai Yang, her RWBY and Yang's father, voiced by Bernie Burns, which I find is a really nice choice. And so we learned that RWBY, with her powers, that she froze the ground. We don't know if Cinder's frozen as well, but and so Yang is okay at least, but missing an arm. And so at one point where Crow tells Tai to leave because he wants to talk to RWBY, and I thought that RWBY was a maiden at first. That was like my first thought until he comes up and tells us that with her silver eyes, that she is part of some kind of bloodline of like silver-eyed warriors that date back further before like mankind found the use of dust, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't exactly know all the details, but her mother was like that as well. And now, at one point, Crow pretty much tells Ruby to go to Haven because that's where the enemy will be. To when like she's ready, like he even winks at her.
Oh yeah,
Just go,
he's
like,
totally like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Go for it, kid.
Nice.
Cool uncle. And so we also go for a kind of a heart-wrenching moment because Ruby goes to check up on Yang, which like her right arm of Ember Silica on the table, and just you can see like a little like a nub, or like just pretty much her arm's gone, bandaged up, and like Ruby hugs Yang, and like I'm happy to see her, but Yang doesn't even respond. Like, you have one arm.
Oh
you
yeah,
can
just
hug
like
her.
just like lifeless. Like Yang's just like eh.
And so pretty much Yang
Yang's
fills in
broken.
more details of what happened. Like Blake ran away, mostly just most likely because she wants to protect everyone. Because Adam's after her, and if she sticks around, everyone's going to die. Beacon is just surrounded by Grim, not the town of Vale, strangely, but just Beacon, and everything's gone to pot. Oh, and Weiss is being taken back to
Atlas.
her home by her father, Atlas. And we get to see a shot of him. It's meh, like how SwarleyU described. He has like a mustache and all that, but we just haven't seen him animated and or voiced yet. So we're still open about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And so and then pretty much Yang is mad at Blake for leaving, even though she's not willing to listen to reason why Blake probably left or anything. And it's odd that she's taking a quote from Crow that's just like, sometimes bad things just happen. Like, Yang.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and even when Ruby like just turns around and just says, "I love you," Yang doesn't even respond. It's like, oh, come
Why?
on.
That's rude.
Well, she's
And
broken.
then-
She's defeated.
Yeah, it's kind of like pride is pretty much being torn apart. Like, she's been humiliated. She has her arm lost, and most likely Yang knows that what Ruby has done. Doesn't know the details, but that pretty much Ruby has even surpassed her. That like Yang was just being a guidance to her, then to a point they're equals, and now Yang has lost so much while Ruby keeps gaining. So I like it that how SwarleyU put it out on his video that like Yang might end up being jealous to Ruby, that it might like put a hinder on their relationship. Which
Yeah.
I want to see that, but I'm also scared to see that in the next volume.
I think we're gonna see like them going separate paths and maybe a bit of headbutting, but I don't know if she'll outright hate her sister. She might give her a bit of shade for like, you think you're all of that? Because $5 says like she's gonna go train with her mother. She's gonna go train with Raven after this.
Yeah, I would say that those two would probably have a similar relationship that Crow and Raven have.
Yes.
Like, they don't see eye to eye, but they're still they're still sisters, and they still care for one another, but they just have different viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes from fall to winter. Ruby has snuck out, leaving on a note that Ty will find, and meets up with John, Nora, and No, I'm so used to Jennifer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no P anymore.
Yeah.
And so now it's Team Ranger now.
So Ruby, Nora, Jean,
John
and
Ren.
Ren. So Ranger. And
Yeah.
they
They
set out
they
to kind of, I don't know, like get revenge or just save the
They're
day,
going
but they're on
to-
their way to Haven.
yeah,
Kick
they're,
ass.
I suppose they're just wanting to find answers, and pretty much they know this fight is not over.
Mm.
And then it goes to, that that dialogue that was spoke in Volume 1, in like the beginning
The
by
narrator.
the narrator. That's actually a character. So it goes to pretty much how, like, a nice way of putting it, how there's always like the smallest bit of hope, even like in the most darkest times. Then she goes to like how she will do all in her power to snuff it out, and it's like she's talking to Ozpin still too.
Cinder.
And then it goes to like some kind of demonic world, and the camera's panning up, and you can see the back of someone with like kind of like white hair in like a bun, and kind of like in a queen-like gown or something. And you turn and see like some black veins on her face with like red and black eyes, and pretty much this character's name is Salem.
Mhm.
If you like see in the credits.
Oh wow,
And
Salem.
She's kind of like Queen Grim, it looks like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and-
that's where they end us. They just go to credits right after revealing her.
Yeah, and like at the scene end credits, it's just pretty much kind of like symbol. I'm not gonna say that Crow can turn into a crow, but it's kind of like symbolism of like Crow watching over Ruby and everyone
Mm-hmm.
while holding Ozpin's cane. That like he's picking up where Ozpin left off since he's gone,
Mm.
but we don't know where he is. We just
He might have just been dragged to grim hell. Who knows?
Yeah.
yeah. That's so now that he's copped up, I want to say that I felt like that fight between Cinder and Ozpin, like I felt like it might have been interrupted, maybe by Salem herself, but I felt like maybe Cinder didn't exactly win in fairness.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if she maybe called in a bunch of extra Grim to help her, or it kind of feels like when they revealed Salem, and in the way that she talks to Ozpin, that they've known each other for a very long time. So Cinder might have been even under orders to, like, you can humiliate him, you can defeat him, but you can't kill him. He's mine.
Mm.
Yep.
Or
That would make
or Ozpin just escaped, because if he can slip through time, he might have just went, I can't win this, I'm gone.
yet he says the tower can't fall.
Yeah.
Mm.
Jeez, like there's so much that we can talk about. There is something. Crap, I had in my thought of one idea. Well, I guess I'll go off with saying with this idea that I'll go back to the other one, but Swarley, going to like how one video you said that kind of Pyrrha will come back and like just memories and whatnot. I felt like this is a stretch. And I'm not saying like Pyrrha will come back alive and well. No. But like due to the buildup of like they had with two minds fighting over one body, well, we see that like Pyrrha felt something during the transfer of the auras, and it's just like I'm pretty much saying that due to somehow unnatural it can be of transferring of auras and souls, what if right when Pyrrha got killed by Cinder, that probably some of her soul that was connected still to the Maiden's power went into Cinder. And then it could kind of like three minds at once fighting it over in the body, but I don't know. It's just
I totally think that's possible. Like it's already been covered through so many different versions of the X-Men with Rogue. Like Rogue and Miss Marvel fight over her body in so many iterations, and that's just a power transfer. But Miss Marvel's body is still alive. I would more think that it would be Amber's soul fighting mostly over Cinder's body. Because we've had confirmation from Pyrrha's voice actor that she's like, it's over. Like, does she just mean her story arc is over? Or maybe her contract is over with Rooster Teeth, which would mean that maybe she's not even going to voice a disembodied voice. A lot of that's left up in the air, but I still totally could believe the whole three souls in one body. But as a main character, or even a B-list character, Pyrrha's gone, but I would not be angry over them bringing Pyrrha back as like a disembodied voice, even in Cinder's head. Like, I really do think that Cinder's a pawn in all of this. Salem is the main baddie. Cinder's human, so technically, like maybe she was an orphan, maybe she was wronged, and who knows, maybe those voices of Amber and Pyrrha could bring her back to the light.
Speaking of that, did you notice right when I think I might have been seeing things, but did you notice right when Pyrrha asked Cinder, "Do you believe in destiny?" that Cinder's eyes, I think they like the smallest tear up at that moment when she said yes.
That
because
was actually confirmed by, I believe, one of the animators on Twitter, that it was meant to be a glint in her eyes, not a tear. Like, you know how some villains have, like, when they're wearing glasses, they have that weird, like, reflection when they're about to do something evil or something like that?
Yeah.
So, I don't think it was meant to be an evil glint or a sad tear, but maybe a flash of a memory. Maybe her idea of destiny is a destiny that Salem has sold her on.
Yeah, that's what I was going on, because like I felt like Cinder knows that she's nothing but a pawn, that everything she has been given can be easily taken away by Salem. Because this also brings to another theory that I've been told that like semblances can connect to aura, and like people have strong enough aura and whatnot, but it's like, what exactly does it take to be able to use aura? Because besides combat skills of using swords and bows, I'm not sure if any powers that Cinder has are hers, because I've even looked back in scenes that at the fight with the maiden, Cinder has a ring on that like does that whole fire thing, and like mostly like everything that she does with the arrows, it can be embedded with like what Salem has given her. And then like once she got the powers of the maiden, she doesn't have the ring anymore, because like, what's the point? I have these powers now. That's just feeling like, does Cinder even have a semblance, or has she even unlocked that like could provoke her to like wanting more power, because others on a higher, more powerful than her, that could lead to her motivation to wanting to be like pretty much feared and powerful.
If you think about it, like Atlas has that ability. That's how Penny was made. They explained that the aura transfer machine was used to give Penny an aura, thus making her somewhat alive. And like going back to the line that Ruby said, that she can feel that Penny was alive, so she could sense her aura. So if you could do that mechanically with science, it makes sense that you could do it magically through some sort of Graham transfer. Like the Graham have shown that they can even steal Fall Maiden powers with that weird scarab glove Graham. So why not give somebody a basic aura and then step it up a notch for a Maiden aura transfer?
Yes. I just hope that in Volume 4 we get to see more of Cinder's backstory. I really hope so. And I'm just wondering, like, if I don't know if Cinder is frozen or not. We don't know yet, but it's just like, what would Emerald and Mercury do at this point? Because they don't, obviously, they don't know about Salem and all this stuff. Because it's just like Salem, Cinder's just seeing them as pawns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just hard to tell.
Well, first, my theory on those two would be that I think Mercury might just go off and do his own thing. I feel really that he's almost just a hired gun. He's going to go wherever the most fun's going to be.
Yeah.
And Emerald, there was a scene in the second last episode we forgot to mention to Twitch where Cinder's having Mercury film all the horrors that are going on and showing the world, trying to trick the world into believing World War III is basically started. I guess it would be World War II for Vale. And Emerald's kind of showing regret and actually questioning what they're doing. So
Yeah.
I think without a negative push behind her from Cinder and Mercury, she could like maybe contemplate on that guilt and go to the good side. Like, I think her more than anyone is ready to already make that leap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then if Cinder's alive, I think Ruby's power, which will be why she'll probably still have some more good fights and not be totally OP, is that her power probably affects Grimm only. So if a human has been tricked by the Grimm Queen to fight her, her eye power probably could damage them, but not freeze them instantly like it does Grimm.
I can see that. I hate losing my train of thought.
That's okay.
You telling me I'm just about to say something?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go.
I can't. I forgot it too.
Hey, that's what editing's for. Just cut it all out. Just cut it all out.
Yeah.
I hope. But I was thinking that. Oh yeah, about RWBY. That I'm kind of like glad that we can probably see more of this whole I guess dark side of RWBY. I would want to say, not exactly like so dark, but it's just like, look at like the songs that Red Like Roses and Red Like Roses Part 2, that like they tell a story between pretty much RWBY and her mother in a sense, and that like I feel like now we're going to the part where RWBY can like show this kind of like a more emotional and dark side of her in a sense, and that we can pretty much go to how she has felt in pretty much her mother being gone, because Yang said that like she thinks that RWBY understood, but I felt like this could be a possibility that maybe like the silver eye thing has happened before, but RWBY doesn't exactly remember it because she was so young. And so like we're pretty much like getting to the point where
Do
RWBY
you
was
think she has like repressed memories and she
Yes.
hasn't remembered yet?
Yes, because it feels like everything that's happened, that like when RWBY has seen like Yang being losing an arm, Penny being torn up, Pyrrha dying, like you see the face that she's making, that it's just like complete and utter broken shock. That maybe like that could have been what she went through as a child, and all of this stuff is just bringing back painful memories.
If you look back at the Red trailer, like after like praying at her mother's grave and that, like she shows no remorse when it comes to just like desolating those Beowulfs. So while she has like repressed memories, I think like the RWBY that we see and have known for the last 3 episodes might almost be like some sort of act. Like they say how a lot of like depressed people and even like some celebrities that have been depressed and have passed away, like Robin Williams, like they hide that sort of sadness under like comedy, or they hide that sort of sadness with a high amount of happiness over top. And that might be the RWBY that we're seeing right now. Somebody who has a lot of emotional baggage, who, for all we know, might have actually been there when her mother died and is repressing those memories. And the only reason she survived after her mother dying was because of her silver eyes, blaming herself for not bringing out that ability early enough, then repressed all those memories, but still has the emotional baggage in there.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, just looking excited for Volume 4. It's just come out already.
I know. I'm saying the same thing actually about the soundtrack. I want the soundtrack to come out. I was just tweeting that. It's like, at Rooster Teeth, please, where is my soundtrack? I want that jazz Mirror Mirror rendition.
And yes, jazz music. Oh, and I heard jazz. Oh, jeez, that was amazing.
Yeah. P.S. More Flint Cole.
Yeah, that was like the sickest fight of the entire season so far to me.
Yes.
I haven't seen the last 3, but yeah.
For
No,
fun fights, that was my favorite fight. Like, I really did like the Team Indigo fight, mainly because like their character designs were amazing and the interactions. But for a fight that was just overly fun, and the music was like 90% of that fight for me. But then, yeah, when you see that Ozpin Cinder fight, it's what Dragon Ball should have been when it came to North America. Really. Yeah. Like, you get some revival of F sort of vibes from it, like the newer Dragon Ball movies, just at how powerful these two people are when they go after each other. And then again, that fight as well is 90% the timing of the music, just like Aeon said earlier.
Your thoughts?
What?
Your thoughts?
I haven't seen anything. I'm sitting here confused, like, what the hell are these two talking about?
This is my fault.
So
yes, it is.
So all right then, like something that maybe like you can talk about though. What do you think about like leaving Beacon? Like, so we were talking about like Beacon's gone. Do you think that it's better that they're leaving the school behind and that they're not going to bother saving it, or would you rather them go back and try to fix it?
Leaving would probably be the best idea, because currently at this point the only thing that's probably still there might be a couple of mementos of like entire past events. Maybe something in Austin's office. Maybe they can go back there and get something from there. Who knows if he has some kind of tool in there. I have no idea.
That reminds me, I actually forgot. The CCT was shut down. The cross-continental tower, transmit tower. So basically, there is no communication between any of the continents either right now. So
they might just think there's an all-out war going on, and they're like, for some reason, everyone might be preparing for war.
Yeah.
They just think everyone's out to get them for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I think will lead into something that I really like from the Gundam series, is the whole, or Gate, which is on like Crunchyroll right now, the whole geopolitical situations, like politics between nations. I would love to see a little bit more of that, as if you've ever seen War Games, which is like a 1980s movie where the computer freaks everyone out into thinking that nukes are launching. I'd love to see a situation like that where two kingdoms are like at the verge of war over this whole fake war.
Yeah, for you two, it's just kind of like Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I think Monty was a Metal Gear Solid fan, wasn't he?
What?
I think Monty was a Metal Gear Solid fan, was he?
I think he was.
Awesome.
We might see a reference there. If someone's hiding in a cardboard box, it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, as I'm thinking about this, it would be kind of interesting, especially seeing what Atlas does, because as we've seen, Atlas is incredibly military. And if they think there's a war going on, then everyone else is going to get spooked.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Well,
like I don't know what happens to Ironwood, but
the Ironwood could be able to help with that because he's been in there. I mean, he pretty much like knows, but still.
I think Atlas is going to be on the defensive because that's the way Cinder made the war to look like. It made Atlas look like they were the attackers, like they were invading Vale. So everyone's going to think Atlas are the villains, like the rest of the world, where in reality it's the Grimm with a resurgence.
Yep. Oh,
This direction.
Yeah.
But then where's that Ironwood?
We don't know.
Well, all of his ships are down, so he might have a hard time like getting back to Atlas. Like, I think he's alive. I'm pretty sure he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. He's probably with Glinda. I don't know. You will ship the two even further now.
Yep.
Oh my god.
The ships and the people have come up with. I swear.
You know my favorite ship, although there's been zero evidence other than the goddamn song. The only thing is the song. you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Right? Nora and Ren.
Oh yeah. I don't know because they've already said they're not.
But the song, it sounds so much. Come on, you can't do that to me. You can't do that.
You know
to me.
what? My theory on that is though, you're half right. I think they're exes.
Oh.
But the thing is, they are from the south, and then they came up to Vale. They're basically making their way back home with Team Ranger. So I think maybe when they were back in their old town, they might have been like, like sweethearts, but nothing serious. And then they were teamed together, and they kind of like came to the conclusion that like either this isn't going to work, but we have to work together, so we have to still be friends, and thus Ren just puts up with her, or that they really, really do care for each other, but they've already seen so much death and destruction that maybe they're too afraid to continue their relationship over losing one another.
Yeah, that makes sense because the whole putting up with thing that doesn't make any sense because Ren seemed to legitly enjoy her. That didn't seem like they hate each other in any kind of sense.
Yeah.
The bird agrees.
Get the bird some Ren
bird.
Pancakes. Can't squawk when you're eating pancakes.
Where's syrup?
Unless Nora eats it all. I do like it when Swarley, like, in his video says, like, first Penny, then Roman, then Pyrrha? What do they got against redheads over there?
Oh my god. I know. Nora might be next. You never know.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! She's my favorite character since I first saw her. No.
It's so funny.
That was a mix of fear and anger right there.
I hope Penny comes back.
Me too.
I still have that sort of hope, but a lot of people have made a very good point about like hard drives and magnets. So it would be very interesting that another Pennybot is made. Maybe that old Pennybot is busted, but she only comes back as just the robot, none of the memories.
Oh, yeah.
It could lead to a very it could lead to a very interesting situation. Like maybe they even get the aura back, so RWBY can tell it's the old Penny, but it's a type of like what do you call it when people lose their memories? Not insomniac, amnesia. Situation. So like RWBY's trying to make friends, but maybe her father or creator programmed in like self-defense things, like not to let people get too close or not to be too trusting. So this new Penny is gonna be like hyper defensive and not want friends.
True. That can happen. Or they could go the hilarious route and new Penny is speaking Spanish.
That would be great.
Someone else was impressed too when they were programming her.
You know what would be great? They do RTX, and it's like, all right, everybody, we have special, never seen before video preview of Volume 4, and it fades up on Penny, and she's just about to talk, and it's just the Spanish voice from Red vs. Blue, like the really deep, like Spartan, like Miliano Penny, and then fade to black. Done.
Hey, stop! Oh,
There will
stop!
be a riot. There will be a riot at RTX.
Oh my god.
Stop! My recording ends just stopped at the perfect time, right after you just said your joke.
That's perfect. Black. Done. Okay.
Start up again, I guess.
Well,
I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
all to say no.
Yeah. You're
I
good bounce
don't-
ideas off of still, so.
Yeah.
I just plays. This isn't my thing.
Yeah.
I think my laptop has reached the max because this can only go for an hour, and we've been talking for an hour.
Okay, well that's fine. That's a good place to end it. If it ended too early, let me know. I've got a file recording as well, and I can send you
Yeah.
that over like Google Plus or Google Drive or something like that.
Yeah, that can work. Oh,
That's
jeez.
that'd be a great dramatic ending. And black.
Stay tuned for like volume 2.
Oh my god.
I might just do that. I might just do that as one of my RWBY parody videos. I'll do that. I'll make the title like stolen video from Rooster Teeth Studios, and it fades up on Penny, and it just says Penny 2.0, and in Spanish. I'm gonna do that right after this. I'm gonna start working on that.
Please.
Yes. Yeah.
Please.
Oh, dude. Oh god. Okay, so we got a lot of editing to do. I might have to make this multi-part. I'm not sure if the laptop will be able to handle trying to upload an hour-long video. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, geez, it was really great talking to you, Swarley.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Hey, cool to meet you, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Alright.
So, I guess for anyone who will be watching this, I'll probably most likely leave links in the description below for any of you guys want to contact us. You can find me on Tumblr as Crimson Aeon, or just on this YouTube channel, Aeon3Veil4. As well, I believe it's Aeon Veil 4 on Twitter. If I'm wrong, then it will just show it on the link below. You guys?
Twitter.com/SwarleyU. I'm actually, what is yours? Aeon. I think I have you on here already. Yeah, I do have you. I'll keep an eye on your Twitter, and I'll, because I know you don't want like a shout out on the actual YouTube channel, but I'll retweet your tweet if you put that on your Twitter or something like that.
Well, Ling, you can do a shout out on YouTube, but I don't mind. It's just when you
I
mentioned
did it
a movie
beforehand.
past. Are you talking about us?
No, that was somebody else that was asking for the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. And Twitch?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Twitch.tv. That's you. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was on Twitch before Twitch.tv existed. You know that, right? That nickname existed before the site.
You gotta sue them. You gotta sue them. It's your rights.
But yeah, I'm on Twitter and YouTube at Twitch the Mad Gamer, and I am on Twitch.tv, Twitch on Twitch, yay, on Twitch the Jester, underscores between the words. So, yay, done.
Yeah, I have a Twitch, but I haven't exactly done anything yet.
Well, I haven't recorded anything in like a year.
Yeah, I do it like maybe once every other week.
Well, I have recorded recently, but it's either been vlogs or me doing my Pokemon Nuzlocke on Leaf Green.
I
So
don't know what
far,
that is.
so far,
Scrub,
well, pretty much, I go through Pokemon, and if any Pokemon faint, I have to release them because they're like dead.
No. What if we started off first battle?
Well, I was naming them after RWBY characters.
A lot of people have been doing that with XCOM as well, and then like, I think I forget who it was, but their XCOM character that they based Penny on had like died immediately. He's just like, no, not again.
Not again.
We need to do like Fire Emblem style.
Point 3.0 now.
Yeah, Aeon, I need to do it. I need to name everyone after Fire Emblem characters since I had such horrible luck with that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I can't play the game
later, so you can like get your ships sailing there. But, yeah, sadly, and I made a video about this that I actually did a memorial, but we lost John. We lost John.
No.
I had all of Juniper. I had John as Pidgey, which was a Pidgeotto when he evolved. Ren as Bulbasaur, and Nora as Nidoran Girl, which was going to be a Nidoqueen, which was fitting because Queen Castle. So I was like, we just need Pyrrha. But now, nope.
The team is screwed again.
The team is gone.
And now, guess what? The show, the most surefire ship, is dead. I guess I have no purpose left in this life. Nope.
I'm totally expecting something between Ruby and Jean. They were when I watched the show the very first time before like episode 2. I was just like, yeah, that's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be a thing. Because when Ruby gets older, this thing's going on 10 volumes at least. It's gonna happen. Oh, mark my words.
You're sounding creepy there, mate. Slow down.